The spotlight shimmered with a brilliance few could ignore as Princess Leonor of Spain and her younger sister, Infanta Sofía, stepped into the roaring atmosphere of the UEFA Women's Euro 2025 final. With a presence that echoed both elegance and quiet power, the royal sisters didn't just attend the match, they became its silent stars. Under the golden hues of the stadium lights, they radiated the future of Spain's monarchy and the evolving role of young royals in shaping contemporary narratives beyond palace walls. It was a historic day not only for football but for European royalty. Princess Leonor, freshly trained by the country's military academies and now a symbol of responsibility and maturity, walked confidently by her sister Sofia's side, whose calm demeanor and modern outlook have equally captivated the public. Dressed in coordinated yet distinctively unique ensembles, they delivered a masterclass in understated royal fashion that captured headlines before the match had even begun. Leonor's crisp white blouse with elegant gold button detailing whispered heritage and duty while embracing youthful simplicity. Her tailored navy trousers and classic flats brought comfort and polish in equal measure. Sofía, ever the chic younger sister, opted for a soft cream-toned suit that subtly mirrored Leonor's aesthetic, but added a light modern twist with an asymmetric hemline and delicate jewelry. No royal tiaras, no heavy brocade, just effortless Spanish sophistication meeting global style cues. As they settled into their VIP box, the cameras captured more than just royals enjoying a football match. What unfolded was a carefully choreographed gesture of solidarity with women in sport. The UEFA Women's Euro 2025 final wasn't just any football game. It represented decades of struggle, progress, and triumph for women athletes in Europe. And in choosing to be there, without their parents King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, they made a powerful statement of their own. Royal watchers and political commentators immediately recognized the significance. This wasn't merely a sister's day out. The Spanish crown princess and her sister had come to send a message. The next generation of the Spanish monarchy stands firmly behind gender equality, empowerment through sport, and the visibility of women making history on their own terms. From royal balcony waves to football pitch applauses, the transition was seamless and purposeful. Crowds cheered as the royal sisters were introduced on the stadium screens. Their presence lit up the arena, drawing chants of Leonor and Sofía from football fans young and old. Social media exploded within minutes. Hashtags like #RoyalSistersEuro and #LeonorandElFootball trended across Spanish Twitter and Instagram. One viral clip showed a group of young girls waving handmade posters with "Las princesas apoyan el deporte femenino," the princesses support women's sports, scrawled in bold colors. These weren't just spectators. They were icons for a generation watching them grow up in real time. Inside the VIP lounge, cameras caught moments of delight as Leonor and Sofía exchanged cheers with fellow guests, clapped passionately during tense plays, and even rose to their feet when Spain scored a dramatic goal. Analysts remarked how genuine their reactions were, far from the rehearsed royal poise of older generations. These were young women rooted in tradition but untethered from stiffness, forging their own path in real time. The royal household didn't release a formal statement about their appearance. They didn't need to. The symbolism was loud enough. After years of transition and scrutiny, the House of Bourbon is clearly embracing a softer, more relatable approach. Leonor, who recently took a public oath to the Constitution and declared her readiness to serve, is no longer the shy girl waving from the side of a parade. Her gestures are now strategic, symbolic, and highly effective. Appearing at the final wasn't just a public engagement. It was a declaration that the future monarch is deeply invested in her people's lives, passions, and modern values. Infanta Sofía's growing role is equally noteworthy. Although not destined for the throne, she has become an essential complement to her sister. Observers have noted her increasingly prominent public appearances, her evolving fashion sense, and her comfort with the spotlight. Their joint presence at the UEFA final demonstrated not just support for the game but a sisterhood in action, a partnership likely to define the coming decades of Spanish royalty. Royal experts couldn't help but compare this moment with Princess Diana attending sports events with her sons, or Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden's commitment to supporting women's causes. But in the case of Leonor and Sofía, there's a unique Spanish flavor, one that blends monarchy with youthful rebellion, tradition with transformation. As the match drew to a close and Spain emerged victorious, the royal sisters applauded with unrestrained joy. No stiff royal hand claps here. Their delight was genuine and infectious. When they later stepped onto the pitch to greet the winning team, the embrace between the royals and the players was more than ceremonial. It was a moment of mutual admiration and shared pride. News outlets across Europe splashed their front pages with images of Leonor and Sofía among the players, holding jerseys and posing for photos that instantly went viral. Their social media presence, subtly curated by the palace PR team, spiked overnight. Millions of likes, comments, and reposts later, one thing was clear: the people were watching, and they liked what they saw. The event will likely be remembered as a defining moment for the new generation of Spanish royals, a moment when they chose to be seen not just as heirs and symbols, but as supporters of real issues that matter to real people. In a post-pandemic, digitally connected, culturally shifting world, the monarchy must adapt or fade. And with Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofía, Spain seems to have found a blueprint for survival, modernity, humility, and relevance. Critics may continue to question the cost of monarchy, but even they found it hard to dismiss the impact of two young women sincerely celebrating a victory for female athletes. There was no grand speech, no flag waving from palace balconies, just the powerful optics of solidarity, sisterhood, and national pride. As the stadium lights dimmed and the sisters departed into the warm summer night, escorted quietly by security, one thing was clear: they had just rewritten a royal chapter without uttering a single word. And the world was watching. They had just rewritten a royal chapter without uttering a single word. And the world was watching. The cameras panned as the sisters left their VIP box, stepping down toward the pitch in graceful tandem. Flashbulbs sparked and stadium screens beamed their faces in slow motion, every smile and gesture instantly amplified across millions of screens. Their footsteps echoed promise of a monarchy not static, but moving forward with intention, empathy, and modern relevance. In that moment, they weren't just spectators, they were participants in a cultural shift. Back in Madrid, fans at tapas bars, public squares, and living rooms rewound clips of their appearance. Commentators analyzed fabrics, gestures, and the significance of their unscripted presence. Style magazines dissected every accessory, while feminist blogs celebrated what it represented: two young women in positions of symbolic power choosing to stand in solidarity with women athletes. The threads of identity, duty, and social messaging wove together tightly. Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofía had effortlessly authored a powerful narrative without saying a word. In the days that followed, speculation swirled. Would Leonor appear at sport events more frequently? Would Sofía continue to take on public outings in support of social causes? Palace officials remained tight-lipped, but insiders hinted at a broader strategy. This was just the opening act. A new age of royal visibility was dawning, one centered on empathy, social engagement, and authentic connection. Observers began drawing comparisons with other modern heirs. Crown Princess Ines of another European nation recently visited a women's STEM conference, while royal families in Scandinavia emphasized transparency and social welfare. In Spain, however, this moment felt uniquely grounded in football, the nation's emotional language, turning a sporting arena into a stage for larger conversation. Universities launched seminars on monarchy and symbolism. Journalism students cited the appearance as a case study in nonverbal political communication. Feminist advocacy groups posted messages thanking the princesses, praising their visibility at an event watched by millions worldwide. Even opposition parties, often critical of royal expenditures, acknowledge the soft power potential: a future queen who looks people in the eye and shows solidarity through presence. In subsequent interviews, albeit carefully managed, palace spokespeople framed the appearance as part of royal duty in a broader, evolving context. They emphasized the sisters' willingness to reflect contemporary Spain, bridging tradition with youth, heritage with forward-thinking ideals. Their attendance at the final wasn't a PR stunt. It was reportedly requested by entreaties within the palace to show a more relatable, modern monarchy. Fashion experts noted how their look set a tone, accessible and muted, yet unmistakably refined. Leonor's minimalist jewelry, perhaps family heirlooms, whispered continuity. Sofía's asymmetric blazer made a quiet statement about individuality. The twin-tonal palette, navy and cream, spoke volumes about cohesion and sisterly unity. Most importantly, young women across Spain and Europe saw themselves represented in the stands. Social media buzzed with images of girls wearing replica jerseys alongside their sisters, mothers, and friends, captioned with messages like, "For those who dream of the pitch," or, "Our crown is ambition." For many, this was more than royalty, it was representation. In classrooms and living rooms, debates started. Does a monarchy still matter today? If so, what purpose can it serve beyond ceremonial tradition? With Leonor poised someday to ascend the throne, this Euro appearance offered a glimpse. A monarchy that evolves, listens, and champions progress in subtle, powerful ways. Spain's victory became more than a trophy, it became a cultural milestone. The national team hadn't just won on the pitch, they'd won attention to their sport. But the princesses helped elevate the moment from national sport to national symbolism. Their applause became applause for women's empowerment, for visibility, for shared history and future momentum. Royal analysts now suggest that this could mark a new tradition, an annual or rotating appearance at key youth or women's sporting events. A tradition that fuses monarchy with social advocacy, one retrofit for the digital, grassroots era. The princesses' presence carries authenticity precisely because there were no formal speeches, no proclamation, just two sisters lending their presence to a cause bigger than themselves. Looking ahead, what does this mean for the Spanish monarchy at large? King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia may continue to anchor traditional engagements, but Leonor and Sofia are sketching a parallel narrative. One of youthful relatability, social consciousness, and symbolic agency without arrogance. The corona of tomorrow may be less about ceremony and more about connection, an heirloom of empathy. The ripple effects continue. TV stations replayed the moment in slow motion on sports and news channels. Magazines featured photo spreads alongside reflective essays. Universities offered case studies. Sports federations credited the royal sisters with boosting viewers and participation rates. Even UEFA added the appearance to their moments of historical significance list in their annual review. Closer to home, the impact may be even more tangible. Youth football clubs in Spain reported spikes in girls' registrations. Empowerment workshops used the princesses' attendance as a motivational story. Spanish embassies abroad shared images and quotes from attendees describing how meaningful it felt to see royalty supporting women's FIFA veterans, youth teams, grassroots squads alike. Of course, traditional critics voiced caution. Some conservative commentators questioned why the king's daughters, particularly one not in line for the throne, assumed this spotlight. Others wondered whether royal neutrality in modern politics had been breached. But the overwhelming consensus among most observers was that this act transcended politics. It was culture in motion, heritage stepping into modernity. As this narrative continues to unfold, one thing remains. Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofía have shown that presence speaks, and when carefully chosen, it echoes. They attended a football final and turned it into a statement of identity, values, and evolving royal purpose. So now, dear viewers, after watching how two young women changed the tone of a football final, reimagined the royal role, and sparked conversations across generations, tell us, do you think this is just the beginning of a new royal strategy? What would you like to see Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofía support next? Let us know in the comments. Hit like if you felt inspired, share to start a wider conversation, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our weekly deep dives into royal life and cultural symbolism.